What is up, guys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of My Team Career Mode. This is the Dutch Grand Prix. This is a weekend that is going to be very interesting for us because not only do we have the slowest car, but this is going to be probably the toughest weekend this season because Zandvoort is not an easy track to get right. So as you can see, with the failure we had, which was the energy store, I can't confirm that was the energy store that failed in the last episode, and that upgrade was actually meant to be coming on for Monza, I believe. So yeah, so not only is Zandvoort going to be a tough weekend for us, but it's also not the easiest track to drive. It is so filled with evolution changes and fast corners, and yeah, this is not going to be an easy weekend. That's why I think this is the hardest weekend on the calendar for us, because I just don't think our car is going to be very stable around this track. This is going to be quite a handful for us this weekend. So just looking at what other upgrades we can do, an energy store upgrade, like I said, was going to be on for Monza. We had what was that, magnetic round, so I think that was energy recovery system, so that upgrade failed for Belgium, so we got that rectified and we have that on the car for this weekend. Probably won't do us too much, as we probably won't be able to use much of our ERS apart from out of 3 or 4 at the hairpin in the first sector and along the front straight, and maybe the second DRS straight. So that's probably where we could use all of our ERS. So 2,500 resource points to spend. That is a awesome amount, but that is not going to last long because we're going to look at some other upgrades to get on the car. One thing that's I really want to focus on is upgrading the facilities and the build time to get these parts on the car, because at the moment they're taking way too long to get on the car. And although they'll be good for the next upcoming weekend, it's still a long wait for us to do. So a weight reduction upgrade for Singapore, that'll actually be a decent upgrade to go on. Maybe frontal rear downforce to go with that, which will be another good one. So we're looking at front downforce. No discounts on that. We can't even do that upgrade anyway because we've reached the department capacity. So that is absolutely lovely. Still nearly 1,500 resource points to spend. Drag reduction and DRS upgrades should hopefully get on the car for Monza. That would be lovely. But in the meantime, I don't see any other upgrades we can do. So for now, let's go to qualifying. At least we can get off the bottom. That would be all I can ask for.
Alright, get ready to jump out if you get too hot in there. There's a problem with the cooling system and it's going to take us a few minutes to correct it.
Well, that's just lovely, having a cool suit issue while you're in the car, which is not ideal. So we got that rectified. It will be painful in real life, let me tell you that. One thing I forgot to mention, that it is raining at the moment, and we are on at least we're on intermediate tyres. However, I haven't even uploaded, or don't even have, a wet weather setup for basically any of the tracks, basically. So I'm gonna have to go into time trial and start looking at some wet weather upgrades, because without those, then we'd probably be nowhere. A dry setup on a wet track, it really doesn't even mix. So we did quite a few laps, and the best we've done is a 1:21.9, which puts us in P13. I'm surprised. So I'm hoping this gets us out of Q1, and no, it doesn't. We got dropped 7 spots to P20. Well, our luck ran out there. So it's P20 on the grid for the Dutch Grand Prix. At least it's going to be a dry race. That's one thing I'm looking forward to. However, it's not an easy place to even stay behind another car. So this is going to be a true test for us to see what we're like behind another car in dirty air around the high-speed corners. If we can adapt to that, then hopefully we can have, a decent result today.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside at races across Europe and throughout the world. Now at long last, they have a Grand Prix to call their own. It's a warm welcome once again to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout a 2.6 mile lap. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Stroll, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Nicholas Latifi and Skip, Lundgaard, Mazepin, Raikkonen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
It's go time now for the Dutch Grand Prix. This is going to be a very tough and enthralling race for us. Starting on hards. That is interesting. Finishing on softs. Can we do mediums to softs? We're going to fall short by 2 laps. Wow, okay. We only got level 1 of tyre wear upgrades. If we had tyre wear upgrades, I reckon we could have gone medium to softs. I reckon. Because I think when we get to Season 2, I think medium and softs will be the way to go. Well, we'll see how this plans out as we get ready. 5 red lights ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix, and we are go. Looks like a good start on the hards, but Mazepin behind us, he's flying through on soft compound tyres, so no wonder why he got the best jump out of all of us, nearly touching the back of Stroll. And in fact, I reckon we did 3 wide between the 2 Williams and Stroll, and they rectify that before they get to the hairpin. So we are relatively clean so far through lap 1. Going up towards these loads of evolution changes. Going to be very hard. I say right here, turn 7, I think it is. Turn 9, 8, 9, whatever it is. This car is not quite the best. I tried to go there at full pace, but it doesn't really work out that way. I've actually had to really pull the car up to be able to make the corner, which I was able to do for the majority of the race. Middle part of lap 1, Mazepin is alongside us, 2 softer compounds. He tries to go around the outside, but won't be able to do it, and he yeets us out of the way. Okay, that's is a little bit ridiculous. Here's a replay. Yeah, he's gone for a gap that just wasn't there. That gap was nowhere near big enough. That was pretty ridiculous from Mazepin there. So we're just going to have to move on. Very ordinary run out of the last corner. That is one of the high-speed tracks or high-speed corners on this track. That's probably the weakest on this track because I can take the racing line, but however, when I start to go up, the car will feel a little bit sideways and come the exit of that. So, and now we get yeeted out of the way by our teammate. So, in the space of 30 seconds, we get yeeted out of the way by Mazepin and Christian Lundgaard. Christian, the contract period is coming up after this weekend, mate. That is not the way how you'd want to treat your boss if you want to keep your seat in this team. So, moving on now. We now look up the inside of Christian. Job done. So, and Christian, that is how you make a move without hitting your teammate or your team boss. And so that was the move made on lap 5. We are now on lap 6, and somehow we went 4/10 faster while doing a dive bomb here at turn 1. So that is very interesting. That is a Williams going off the road. It is the Nick Latifi, and he comes on in front of my teammate. That was super duper dangerous. Have a look at this. So there's Latifi there. He lets me pass, but he comes out in front of my teammate who was just trying to hold on to my DRS. That is a very, very dangerous move by Nick Latifi there. That's race suspension worthy. In all honesty, if there was a big enough gap between me and Mazepin, he probably could have snuck in there without me having to stab my foot on the brake. Wow, nice little tank slapper there. Yeah, I am genuinely surprised that he came on. That move was very, very ridiculous. So coming on board for just this sector now, or for the middle part of the lap, and as you can see, that was nearly, the best run I've had in the middle sector, lap 11, and that the best run through there actually gave me an improvement, and we are now in the 14s. So for quite a few laps from lap 11 onwards, I was going 2 green boxes, but my last sector wasn't that good. So into the middle sector now, and that, just getting around there, is the best run ever. Probably could have taken the apex a little bit more, maybe use a bit of that curve, but that was perfect through the second sector, and we find another 2/10 in that lap. And again, we are another 10th up on lap 20. Now, so we've skipped quite a few laps. People have made their stops. So just moving on through this race, nothing really happened. I'm just driving like I usually do. George Russell is out of the race. Interesting. So, and there he is. He's just parked on the side of the road. So that promotes us up into P14 now. So P20 to P14 up to 23 laps. That's not too bad.
DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely.
Okay, that is going to be painful again. So again, more mechanical problems coming back into the car. So just like Spa, we've got a DRS problem. So now lap 25, now we are into the pits for soft compound tyres. We'll take these for the last 11 laps and take these to the end of the race. This is going to be quite a painful period for us, because with the soft compound tyres, and they are going to be very painful around the high speed corners, because they will overheat like crazy. And well, just like that, we are now being shown the blue flags for Lewis Hamilton, I believe, and so we pull over quite a while later, because I was continuously looking back and he wasn't anywhere near close enough. And now we're getting the blue flags again for Valtteri Bottas. However, I chose not to let him pass until the end of that lap. We find another 1.2 seconds, I should say, and now we are into the 12s. And apparently Bottas had to come in to change his front wing. I don't know why, as we rear end Mick Schumacher, and we nearly bin the car, and he gets the run on the outside of us. He's on hard compound tyres, so I don't know if he's made a stop yet in this race, but if he has, he will be very, very slow until our soft compound tyres wears off. That is an Alpine of Fernando Alonso, who's probably had a spin, or he's been collected by someone and got turned around. So bit unfortunate for him. 6 laps to go now, or basically 5 to go, because we are 1 lap down, and with us being behind Mick still, we haven't been able to find any way past him for a little while. And I was surprised that we were able to stay relatively close in the high speed corner. So now we get the run out of the last turn, and now we are going to stick it up the inside here at turn 1. And gee, did he move over there just to try and put us into the wall? Regardless, we get the move done, and we are now up into P13, 14, whatever. And just looking back, yeah, he did move over just that little bit. I was actually surprised that he didn't even move over at all. So now, with 4 laps to go, we're just going to hold on to the position. Oh, we've had a bit of a moment there. And Mick has just come up into the back of us. He spun out. And he might be out of the race. We've had a collision warning. So what that was triggered from us by taking too much of the curb. And he's just coming to the back of us. He hasn't even braked to try and avoid that. Let's just go on board with that. I didn't think I did nothing wrong. After the... yeah, I was just trying to drive in a straight line and Mick just came into the side of me. That is unbelievable. And the safety car is out. Safety car is out. With 5 laps to go. Now we skip forward to the restart. Don't worry about the safety car. Let's get back to the battle. We get a run on Lewis, but we are still 1 lap down. But however, Stroll is for position. We dive up the inside. And we accidentally almost touch Lewis there, and that could just about cost him the win here, as Verstappen should be able to check out from here, and Lewis just gives us a nice little tap out of the way. We are now moving forward to the second half of the lap, and we are letting everyone through, because if we don't, then we will be penalised and maybe even disqualified if we don't let everyone pass quickly. However, Tsunoda and Alonso are still to lap, but Mick is for position, so P13 now in the Haas, and he's nabbed us. Raikkonen is all over the back of us now. Stroll in behind us as well. We dive by Mick into the 3rd sector, and we get the move done. So now P13 onto the last lap now. No more cuts. This is going to be an intriguing final lap to see if we can hold on to P13 from Mick Schumacher. This has been a good drive from us here today. If we can hold on, then that would be absolutely awesome. Into the 2nd sector now, through the high speed 7, 9, 8, 9, whatever you call it. Just need to be clean in this 2nd sector. We nailed that corner perfectly, and we've literally nailed this 2nd sector, so we should be able to hold on for P13. No DRS activated in the last 2 laps, because you need 2 or 3 laps for the DRS to get open, and Mick is not going to have any of that. We've got a lot of ERS to play with, plus 1 lap of fuel. Who cares about fuel at this rate? So we're 5/10 in front. We should be able to hold on, avoid the curb. Max Verstappen wins the Dutch Grand Prix on home soil. Well done, Max. And for us, it is going to be P13 from P20, up 7 spots.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yeah, that's a good race from us. Up 7 spots. That is an awesome day. How does Raikkonen get driver of the day? I'll be seeing his race.
So another fantastic victory for Red Bull today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
I keep saying this, but they are literally the team to beat at the moment. They are going to be the hardest team to catch at the moment, Red Bull. Well done, Max, on winning on your home soil. It's always a nice feeling when you win on your home soil. Now, how does Raikkonen get driver of the day? 16, 21 from P21. We were 18th and 13th. Oh, that's right. Now I remember. So I understand that, because we got promoted up a couple of positions because of grid penalties. How did I forget about that? Well, that is very, very interesting. Anyway, I'm still P10 in the standings and still P7 in the constructors. So I don't think 7th is secure. We're going to need at least another points finish, but we should be able to secure 8th in the constructors, because I can't see Williams getting any more points. before season's end. Well, in any case, another race done, and the contract period is coming up next. So the next episode is going to be very interesting to see whether Christian keeps his seat or whether we sign another driver. So that we'll have to wait until the next episode of Career Mode, which will be Monza, expecting big upgrades to get on the car, and if they don't get on the car, then I'm going to be furious. I literally will, because Monza being a power track and having a DRS and engine power upgrades, that is absolutely golden for that track. So let's just pray that that gets on the car, and just continue to march forward while we can. Or it's hard to move forward when we're having upgrades fail every time. It's not. I know you guys aren't liking it, and I know I'm not liking it. But it's what we have to deal with. We're going to have to move on and just do the best we can. I keep saying it, but yeah, it's literally all we can do. It's out of our hands. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that has been this episode for today. I'm trying to do as many videos as possible, but it's just not easy at the moment with me working. And yeah, now Bottas, how did he? Oh, he was trying to go the inside, and yeah, I was going to the inside to try and let him pass, because I thought he was going to go the outside, but obviously not. So, gee, I didn't think he'd be going into the inside. Normally, the laps cars would be going to the inside line to try and avoid having to get hung up on the outside if they are in a battle. Well, in any case, that's all done and dusted. I think Bottas got P8, P7, something like that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to see plenty more F1 and racing game content. Until the next one, guys, for the Italian Grand Prix, I'll see you next time.